Hi everybody, Steve Peliquin here. Today, going to be talking about what the NCAA recently did, where they have approved experimental rules for 2017 in the softball season and select conferences to design speeding up the game. And the Sun Belt Conference has already said that they will use these experimental rules in 2017. How do I feel about the rules? I really don't like them. And I'll tell you why. I'm not against the rules themselves. I'm just against the fact that they're being used in an experimental basis and in some conferences. Now, again, I'm for the rules in general. What the rules state is they're going to limit teams they're going from 14 conferences to 6 conferences this year. The other thing that they're doing is no conferences after every out. Okay, we know what goes on in softball. They make it out and they throw the ball around the infield, something you're still going to be allowed to do, but everybody comes to the pitching circle, including the catcher. They tap hands, they do a little cheer, all that. None of that's going to be allowed this year. And the other thing is that teams defensively and offensively, for that matter, you're going to be forced to play after 90 seconds. In other words, if you're not ready to play after 90 seconds, a ball will be called on the defense or a strike will be called on the offense. So you say, well, what's wrong with these rules? Well, I don't like the rules simply because, again, they're being used at an experimental basis. How come they're not being used to all the college softball? Why is it that the Cajuns might have to play 30 games the old way of playing it, and all of a sudden you get the conference play, and then the 26, 28 games that they're playing, they're going to have to play by a different set of rules? Makes no sense to me. Back in the 80s, remember when certain conferences, the Sun Belt Conference, the old Sun Belt Conference when it first came about, they used a 45-second shot clock, but nobody else used a 45-second shot clock. How about the ACC? They were one of the first conferences to use a three-point line. Remember when the three-point line in the ACC used to be right in front of the top of the key, and Sam Perkins, I could still envision him hitting that three-point shot from there. Everybody said, the shot wasn't deep enough. Well, that was kind of beside the point. What mattered is that once the ACC got into the NCAA tournament, they were playing by a different rule. There were no three-point shots, and then a couple of years later, it was a different three-point shot. So again, these softball rules designed to speed up the game, I'm totally for in general, but I'm not for using them in an experimental basis. If these are good rules and college softball totally behind them, they should go ahead and institute the rules across the board. As far as for the Sun Belt Conference, I don't want to be a guinea pig. Tell me what rules I'm going to play by in postseason play and in non-conference play, and I'll play by those rules in conference. So from that aspect, I don't like the rules. There you go.